So, first of all, let me thank you for coming online, Mr. Nikhil. It's a privilege to have such a
Mm.
successful social media marketer on our show, The Net Talk. Uh, I'm sure before we begin, even begin this interview, there's going to be a lot to learn from you, especially for aspiring social media marketers who don't do digital marketing but are involved specifically in social media marketing. So, Nikhil,
Sachin.
for
Yeah.
our viewers, if you could just give a small introduction about yourself, that would be helpful.
Okay. Just quick introduction, Sachin. I head social media for Z5, the OTT platform, and
Okay.
I have about 14 years of experience in social media and digital marketing. Before
Mhm.
Z5, I was working for a startup in Singapore, and before that, I was heading social and digital for Cafe Coffee Day in Bangalore.
Yes. Mhm.
I have been in ad agencies before that. So yeah, so about 14 years, 14th year of work experience.
That's great. So, Nikhil, social media was never taught during our schooling life or college life, even university days, right?
Yeah,
It's something that we picked up later part of the professional life
yeah,
and we saw
yeah.
something good, right? How difficult was it for you to, or how easy was it for you to get adjusted to it?
Mm. See, for me personally, it wasn't that difficult because I started off in social media when people were still figuring out what social media is, right? So at that point
Mhm.
of time, everything started off with things like corporate blogging and writing a couple of articles online, SEO, basic SEO, and all of that.
Mhm.
Eventually, then when Facebook started, and it was Orkut before that, and
Exactly.
Twitter became a little popular around 2006, 2007. So at that point of time, so because I was starting off at the beginning, and I kind of evolved along with the platforms and along with brands that I was working with to understand the space and figure out what is the best way to do it. So for me, it was more of a learning on the job kind of a situation
Mhm.
because I started off really early in this, and when it was just beginning to things. So I think that kind of helped in to do this for me.
What's your total experience in social media marketing?
About 14 years of experience. Yeah.
14 years. That means when there was no social media marketing, you
Yeah.
started off social media marketing.
That's the funny part, right? Because it at the very beginning, social media marketing was all about blogging, as I said. WordPress page,
Yes.
do a blog, engage with customers, respond to comments. All of that became
Mhm.
like the very initial stages of social media. So
Mhm.
that, and then you have things that we did on MySpace and Orkut and things like that. So all of that at from the very beginning when these platforms were introduced, and how people and how brands can use it, right? So that became the main thing. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So when you started off like 14 years back, did you have the vision? Did you have that knowledge, or did you have that foreseeable vision that it's going to be big? Because I still remember when people used to update on Facebook. I'm talking about 2006, seven.
Yeah,
I said like,
yeah,
okay, you're updating about what you do, your photos and everything, but there was
yeah.
no inclination towards business. Obviously, there
That's
are people who can see the vision because they are seeing a lot of people joining in one place. So obviously, there is a
right.
scope for promotion and marketing. So how did you figure that out?
So I think, to be honest, at that point of time, everybody was doing it for fun, right? So people wanted to explore what it is, and they were just trying to understand, what the situation is and what these platforms are capable of. While there wasn't a very strong long-term vision in terms of, whether this is something that can be, something that one can make a career in. At that
Mhm.
point of time, it was something interesting. Brands who actually did something on Facebook or actually did something interesting were noticed. Were talked about. I still remember a travel brand in India. I can't name the brand obviously, but they were the first ones to actually create a Facebook page, and people were like, "Oh my God, this brand is on Facebook," and things like that. So it became a an interesting thing. People doing it for fun, and
Mhm.
soon we realized that there is a lot more to it
Mhm.
than just social networking. There is a
Mhm.
whole aspect of business that came in over there because it became a publishing platform, right? So the minute you
Mhm.
become a publishing platform, things like how much do I pay to get onto somebody's newsfeed? comes into it, right? So it became an advertising business, So real estate on those websites like Facebook and Twitter and all of that started increasing. So it very soon became a business, rather than just something people do for fun. So I think it took about 3-4 years until I also realized that there is a lot to be done here from a career point of view. And that's how it began. So people started seeing this as an alternative to mainline advertising, right? Instead of putting something outdoor, and people also realized that this is a platform where brands can actually talk to their consumer directly. Earlier in the days of the TV advertising days, you would spend crores and crores of rupees on doing research to understand the consumer, right? Consumer, what does he want? What is he doing? Behavior analysis or research. Now all of that was available very cheaply on your social media platform. So it became a way for brands to also understand the consumer better, talk to them directly. There was a shift that happened from brands doing a monologue through TVC or outdoor to doing a dialogue with the consumer, right? So that kind of kicked up the whole situation.
Okay, that's great. Yeah. Now, for a lot of the youngsters who are going to start off with digital marketing, they think social media is digital marketing, which is a part of it, but not entirely true. So, what can you tell them how to start if they really are interested in social media? They can probably call themselves as social media marketers rather than calling themselves as digital marketers, because they put a title of digital marketing and then they go for social media and they don't know anything about it, because I don't know where they take training from, and it's sometimes I feel sad for them that they are institutions who in the name of teaching, training, take the money and they don't do anything. So for those our youngsters, people who want to learn, how they should go about it.
So Sachin, I think when it comes to digital marketing, I think that field, that industry is way too big, right? And social media is maybe like 10% of digital marketing. It's not the entire thing. I think at the if you want to for people who are trying to understand what is digital marketing, I would say start with the website, right? So when you look at the website, or when you look at an online property, forget even a website, it could be an app, right? An online property where you're trying to sell something, and everything that goes around it to try and get the consumer to come to that property and purchase from you involves digital marketing, right? So it starts from the way you design your website or your app, what you say over there, the kind of words that you use. Then it also depends on what kind of technologies that you employ to make sure that the website or the app loads quickly and faster, and there is people are not waiting for 10-12 seconds for the page to load. And then once that is there, how do you reach out to the actual users, right? So then it becomes an entire conversion funnel that you look at. The top of the funnel where you drive awareness, people need to know that there is something like this that happens. A middle of the funnel where people engage with your brand and try to understand what that is, and they show some interest in purchasing or in converting or downloading or signing up, lead generation, whatever your conversion goals are. And the bottom of the funnel where you actually drive that consumer interest into an actionable item like a purchase or a conversion or a lead, right? So that entire thing, right? What are the things that you use to drive that funnel, right? If it's social media, if it is things like SEO, if it is things like technology, digital advertising, digital PR, if you want to get into different publications. So all of that forms the entire gamut of digital marketing as a whole, and social media is just probably 10% of it.
Okay, but if you look at it, the impact of social media is immediate and effective. Immediate and effective because if you have a brand and you publish it on social media and put some money, then the juggernaut start of increasing the followers and brand awareness. Wherein so it takes time, but then that is more effective over a period of time. It's more effective than anything else. But then social media, it can make, if it cannot build a brand in a day or in a month, it can at least make people aware of there is a company or there is a brand like that, right? So it's that powerful, right? End of the day, it's very powerful because people can see visibility, pictures and everything, videos, everything.
Yeah,
that's right. So how do you think it affects the other aspects of digital marketing? Because you are commanding an OTT platform at present. You are actually, you can influence us sitting at Z5. We might even stop using other foreign brands like Netflix, Amazon Prime, or anything for that matter, because you have that power in your hands to play around with our influence, general audience, right? So how do you see going about this one?
So I think, Sachin, the question that that people need to ask is, am I looking for an immediate gratification or an immediate sale, or am I looking to build my brand? Every small brand is actually doing social media advertising. They're trying to, you open your Facebook, you will find like 10 ads immediately, right? So the idea is to stand out. The idea is to stand out of that clutter, right? So that's where, in terms of how effective your brand building exercises are, that comes into the picture. So while you're right in saying SEO and other techniques take some time to build, some the effect, the brand effect. I would actually say that it is a combination of both that will help the brand eventually, right? So if you want somebody to buy something, right? Let's take an example of a very simple phone, right? If you want to buy a phone, people actually look for reviews online. People go around, ask their friends, figure out which phone is the best phone that is there in the market. If you put up an advertisement, people are going to buy a phone, right? You need that conversation, that dialogue to happen with people, and all of that. So to make sure that is there and to drive that credibility of the brand, right? Your other social media, other digital marketing efforts will play a role, right? In terms of publications writing about it, journalists talking about it, people reviewing it, right? YouTube creators. Sending a free phone to the YouTube creators, they do an unboxing video, talk about the reviews of the product. So all of that, and plus eventually the SEO that you do, which is a fundamental thing that you have to do for any website, all of that will have to play a role. And at the end, when your consumer has been given all this information and they know everything about the phone, then you put an ad on social media and they will convert.
Exactly.
Right? So it's about phasing it out in such a way that you make your money work smarter for you, right? Immediately, if you start spending, your marketing dollars on advertising your phone, it may not get you a lot of results. But you put your marketing dollars at a time when the customer is primed with all the information, the conversion will become easier for you.
That's like building a credibility or building a brand before it's launched. Prime example would be Redmi and OnePlus before it got launched in 2014-15. I don't remember the year. With in association with an e-commerce giant. So I will not name because I'm confused between who did that launch. But then they started writing about it. So they said like Redmi is the Apple of China. Redmi is the Apple of China. OnePlus is better than iPhone. So many things were stuck into our mind. I still remember in Bangalore we used to talk about it a lot. This phone is coming. This one is coming. And then by the time it actually launched and it went off. Out of stock in just 1 hour or 2 hours, and the site also crashed. I guess something that sort of has happened because people bought it out. So this like pre-building, hyping someone, everything, and then utilizing that material to sell. So that's something called as influencer marketing through social media, and that's true.
That's true. Yeah. So that's what influencers.
Brand influence.
Influencers have become the new kind of journalists these days, right? So people listen to what they want to say. Whether it's a YouTube influencer or whether it is somebody on social media or Twitter or whatever. So there is a lot of credibility that you can build through such activities. But again, it also has its pitfalls, right? People have started to abuse this power and things like that. So, but it's a risk, but you've got to do it anyway.
Okay. So what are the steps to build a social profile of a brand? Like, for example, let's talk about NetTalk. We are an online magazine. So what are the steps that we should take to build a brand?
See, I think for any brand, right, whether it is NetTalk or any other brand, I think what is more important is especially for you, because you're a publishing platform, what is more important is the kind of content that you create, right? So, that's your product at the end of the day, right? What is your
Exactly.
IP, right? Your IP is your product at the end of the day, and that's the most of your focus and energies right now need to go into making sure that your IP is really strong, get a unique, point of view. Even if it's a product brand, make sure the product is really good. That people are, it's addressing a gap in the world, right? It's addressing a particular need that people have in the world, right? If you're sure of that, if you sort that out, building a social profile is actually very easy, right? So you identify your right kind of platforms, start putting out this content, and because you know that this content is actually solving a particular problem for the people, you reach out to the exactly that kind of people, right? And putting up your profiles on social media or your professional networks, it's going to get you the results that you need, right? Let's say in your case, you need subscribers, you need people to actually come and look at what you're trying to do, and eventually get into branded content based on the number of subscribers that you have. So for you, it's actually quite easy, because all you have to do, your investments, majority of your investments, I would say 70% of your investment goes into creating the content, right? Creating the content that you publish on your platforms, right? And if the content is good, your remaining 30% of your marketing budget is enough to drive consumers to come in and watch. And you build a certain kind of virality already through that, because your content is good. People will share your content. People will look at what you have to say, and yeah, and then that's how it is. Because if to be honest, if there's a brand whose product is not that great, no amount of marketing dollars is going to bring you the customers that you want, right? So
Exactly.
yeah.
So, social media, let's say the popular apps nowadays are LinkedIn. Anybody who wants to launch a company or a website, they will have Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter as a standard option. They would have it, right? Apart from that, Instagram is taking a certain, people are accepting to it, especially the B2C company or the brands. They are also accepting it. Fashion thing, corporate still, IT is still figuring it out with a lot of things. Then Pinterest has taken over. Pinterest is doing a fabulous job in terms of SEO. It helps you in your SEO and everything. Reddit also does a good job. Imgur is also there. What are the other things? You remember during our Orkut days, we had something called as Friendstar from Philippines or Indonesia. I don't know from where it was.
Yeah.
And a couple of more sites also were there, but I'm not remembering it right. So, what are the other social media channels people can use apart from Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn? These are the standard business.
I think you've missed out YouTube. I think it's one of the strongest social media platforms out there. YouTube has.
So sorry.
Yeah.
And this show goes on YouTube. Unfortunately, that I forgot.
Yeah, no, because you're right. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, I would say, are the three primary platforms that people talk about. There used to be TikTok in India, but now it's banned. I don't know if it is going to come back or not, but that was another really, really strong channel for people for creators to actually, go in and start creating their profiles. So
even for business people, even for businesses, it can be effective.
B2B, especially for businesses, because and also see, I think it also depends on the kind of industry you are in, right? So, for example, if you're an interior design company or a decorator or something like that, then a platform like a Pinterest would make a lot of sense for you. But if you're not, then Pinterest would not. It would just be a waste of a time or an investment for you. Facebook as a platform is only probably used for reach, right? You need to reach the right amount of a right number of people. If you look at the latest demographics as of Jan or Feb this year, the average age of a Indian user on Facebook is about 32, right? So your teenagers are not on Facebook anymore.
They're on Instagram.
They're on Instagram. They were on TikTok, but now they're on YouTube. There are a lot of other TikTok emulators that are out there. So there is some science to figuring out what platforms you want to get into as well, right? So if you're for example, for a brand like yours, which is a publishing platform, LinkedIn would be better as well, because you're looking for business partnerships, right? You need to have a B2B strategy as well. That's where I think, LinkedIn would play a role. So your product and your brand and your industry defines which social media platform that you want to get into and advertise on as well. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah. A lot of people, start as a social media executive, then they take a lot of time to even go to a social media manager's level. But some are smart by changing job. They, 1 year, 2 year, they try to get to that. Do you think this should be acceptance in company? Because just because somebody is changing a job in 1 year, you should give them a promotion, hire them at your company, at a different company, at a higher pay, without the experience, just because he's changing job. Because the knowledge is something that they don't have, but just because their salary is less, so people they hire them at a higher position at a lower salary just to showcase on their profile, right? That also is not creating good leaders, good social media leaders, because you are there for 14 years in this industry, right?
Yeah.
If you talk in terms of growth, in terms of career building in social media, people are just not, companies are also not serious about it in terms of, especially I can relate to a lot of Indian companies because I have a certain agency background, so I can relate to that as well. So what are your suggestions to companies as well as these individuals? Don't hop, skip, and jump. Don't hire and fire people. Just understand what their knowledge is. Just adding a hashtag, just adding something organic. It's not social media. And who better than you, because you're handling India's one of the leading OTT app, ZEE5. So probably you could throw some light on it. Educate them about it.
So it's a good question. To be honest, over the years, I've seen the quality of people who work on social media kind of decline, right? So what I'm very particular about the kind of people that I hire in my team. See, for me, it's very simple, right? It does not matter how many years of experience you have or if you're a fresher. You need to be a writer. You need to be a copywriter. Your English needs to be of the highest standards. If you're not a writer, I will not hire you for a social media role, right? It's very simple. So even if there are people who are doing courses and working as social media executives, if they can't write well, right, there is no way they're going to advance in social media. That's the most fundamental thing that you need to know is, to write well, you need your grammar in place, your punctuations in place, you need to know the right kind of words, the expressions, you need to read a lot. I want people to read global literature. I want them to read novels, read comics, basically read and understand and watch popular culture TV shows, get onto Netflix and watch what the world is watching, right? So you will realize that pop culture knowledge, that lingo, that the language that people use these days, youngsters, is very, very important when it comes to dealing with people on social media, because social media marketing is all about psychology, right? It's all about understanding people's behavior, mindsets, when to talk to them, how to talk to them. If somebody is angry on social media, how do you talk to them? If somebody is happy, how do you talk to them? It's all psychology, right? And if you understand that psychology, and if you know how to write well, and if you understand the right cultural references, right? So then I'll gladly hire you for social media, because it's like this, right? Let me give you an example, right? So personally, I'm a social media guy. I know how to do social media and digital marketing and all of that, but I may not be an expert in a particular industry, right? I may not be an expert in automobiles, or I may not be an expert in Bollywood or Hollywood, or I don't take any industry, right? Cafe, coffee day. I'm definitely not an expert in the F&B industry, but those things are something that you can learn if you know your fundamentals, right? So that's why it's easier to change industries in the same field than changing fields completely. You know what I mean? From social media marketing, for me to jump into HR would be almost impossible, because my fundamentals are not there, right?
Exactly.
But if I move into an HR company as a social media guy, it's easier for me, right? I can manage that.
Exactly.
Because that fundamental has to be in place, right? So that's where I think people need to also realize, who are in their first year, second year of work experience, start writing, right? Start writing essays, start a blog, get onto WordPress or Medium or something and start a blog and start writing regularly. Read a lot, read novels, start reading, books by Salman Rushdie, start reading books by, all these latest American authors, get on to comics, right? I would say, in fact, I keep giving this advice to a lot of people: start reading Archie's comics, right? Start reading Tintin, all of that, right? So get into that mindset of people, right? So
Also, explain why you are actually asking them to read comics, because I can understand why you're telling them, but for people to understand why you're telling them.
Yeah, so it's see, there is a certain level of there's certain kind of humor or a certain kind of expressions that you only see in comics, right?
Exactly.
There is a certain way in which comics make things very visual for you, right? If it's one thing to read a sentence that says the man looked shocked with an exclamation mark, it's another thing to actually see an illustration of a shocked face of a man, right? So it's the thing becomes visual in your head, right? And when you start reading these, when you start seeing these comics and reading this, you start visualizing expressions and emotions in your head. So when somebody says, "I'm extremely angry," the face that goes with that emotion, and that will help you craft your responses better on social media, right? So then you don't, if you're good at it, you don't actually have to say anything, but an emoji will do the trick for you. You need to be smart to figure out these things, and that's where how do I respond? Do I respond with an emoji, or do I respond with a sentence? If you're into comics, you'll realize this. So yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great. No, see, it's easy to tell them, go and read this. They'll read it, but they won't understand the reason behind it. So I wanted them to explain. So let me explain from my point of view.
Okay.
See, if you are reading comics, viewers, please understand what Nikhil sir is trying to tell. If you are reading comics, it's in short form, so which is ideally used in social media. You're not writing essays on social media. You're using 2, 3, maximum 4, 5 lines to have a branded, but 4 or 5 lines also is very big. People use 2 to 3 lines and they try to tell the story within those lines. So in social media, in comics, when you see this, you can see the comments in a very, in a different shape of box, and it comes in different things. So they will tell a very large sentence in small things. That's punctuation. So that means if they want to, if let's say I was reading a Spider-Man comics or a hero comics, so they don't speak much. They punctuate it, so it becomes very easy. So your mind starts getting programmed according to it. So you may not write exactly what it's written in that format, but when you're going to write something big, you can shorten it very effectively and publish it. That means, as they say in the culture, is like, if you want to give if you want to do the most toughest job to somebody, give it to a lazy person. He'll find a shortcut to do certain things. So it's something related to that. I may not be correct on that one, pardon for me that, but that's the best way I can explain you this one. So that's where Nikhil sir is trying to explain. And understand, brand cannot be built in a day. I understand, but certainly it can create a buzz and awareness in a single day, especially when you can have the enough credits to run through the brand. That I'm talking about money, and it can be made aware. That's something. So sir, now let's come to ZEE5. What are you guys up to now? What are your latest shows? What are you doing now?
To be honest, I won't be able to say a lot about what we're doing at ZEE5, but I think from a content point of view, all I can say is that there is a lot of content that we are also trying to put up because of the lockdown. For the past few months, I think the shooting has been affected. So there is a lot of innovative ways in which we are also trying to get content out in terms of shooting. A lot of our shows actually now we're also figuring out how we can shoot it on the phone, like how we are doing an interview, right? So that kind of a thing. And on social as well, there is quite a bit of a lot of interesting things that we're trying to do. to keep people entertained, right? So we understand that
Exactly.
people are stuck at home. They're probably bored. They need entertainment. So we are trying a lot of different things on social to keep people entertained, give them interesting content pieces to, engage with. So, yeah.
Hmm. That's right. So, and then, the most critical questions from here. I know your industry has badly hit because there's no shooting
Mm,
happening, there is
mm.
no events, there's nothing. So, there is less of content. Unfortunate that is. But then, how are you, coping up with that in terms of, are you hiring or are you firing? What is the situation like now?
See, to be honest, there's not much I can comment on that. But
Okay.
I guess it's not. See, while it is from a content creation point of view, it is a challenge. There are people, there are ways in which we're trying to solve that issue. Whether it comes to whether there is hiring freeze and all of that, those are things that I really cannot comment on. But there are all I can say is that there is every company is going through a lot of difficulties in this, especially when it comes to
Exactly.
producing content. But
Yes.
at the same time, Z5 at Z5 we are doing a lot of interesting things, a lot of innovative things to make sure that we stay relevant in these times, right? And to keep our consumers happy and all of that. So yeah.
Obviously, Z is a well-known brand. We still remember 1993, 94. It started coming in our channels, in our home, and
Yeah.
very famous series like Tara, Z Har Show, Banegi Apni Baat, Campus, and the list goes on. There is
Yeah.
no dearth to that. Are those old shows also coming to Z5? You have that one. Somebody can go and watch it back.
There is a lot of content on Z5. I think if you go there, you will probably definitely find a few of these old
I already
favorite
have an
shows.
app.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
already have an app, but due to work
yeah,
commitments, I'm not able to explore it.
yeah. No, I think a lot of these old shows are also there on Z5.
Okay, that's
If
great.
there is enough and more content, I think we have 10,000 plus hours of content on the platform. So I think there
Wow.
is enough for anybody to keep themselves interested. Yeah.
That's right. So one of the viewers is asking if you have to write a social media content, what kind of English to be used? Is it American or British? I don't know
It
what we use,
depends.
Indians.
It depends on the brand. If you're working for an American brand or a brand that involves American customers, then you use American English. If you're, for example, before this, I was with a Singapore company, and our customers were Singaporeans, so we use British English. So it depends
Okay.
on who your customers are and where your brand is located. So
Okay,
yeah.
that sounds great. So, Nikhil, coming to the critical questions at the end part of the interview, we all have been hit by pandemic, especially your industry. It has affected even more the entertainment
Mm-hmm.
industry.
Yeah.
A lot of people are losing jobs. The graduates from our college, they're not finding a job. Campus hiring is on freeze most of the time,
Yeah.
but companies are still resuming it, as I heard just an hour before. So,
Sure.
what's the message for them people who are stuck in such dilemma?
It's a great opportunity to start enhancing your skill sets. I would say start experimenting. While you may or may not want to do an online course for social media, but I think this is a chance for you to start experimenting, right? So get into all the different social media platforms that you don't already are on, you aren't already on. Start
Mhm.
exploring the platforms to their fullest. Get into some kind of an interesting experiments that you want to do on social media, trying to build your skill sets. I think that way it's important that you also use this time to learn a new skill set. And I think and it's not like people are not hiring, right? People are hiring.
Exactly.
There are companies that require people right now. And the good part about this is that now that work from home has become the new normal, you don't really have a restriction of which city do I have to relocate. All that you don't really have to worry about, right? Because even if you interview for a company that's based in North India and you're based in South India, you can still get the job and start working from home, right? So I would
Okay.
say there are a lot of opportunities. A lot of brands are hiring, especially for social media, because as I said, the whole thing about uh, adversity is that brands also need a different way to engage with their customers, and social media offers that. So yeah, in the lockdown, this is a great opportunity for you to start increasing your skill sets and start looking for opportunities. Don't get limited by your location and things like that.
Okay. And also, are you localizing your content, or is it one singular language like Hindi or English? Are you localizing your content?
Are you saying at ZEE5? What do you mean?
Yes.
What do you mean by localizing your content?
Okay. See, in India we have multiple languages, so obviously by default we create shows in Bengali, Telugu, Tamil, and everything. But our Bollywood or industry is very popular in Africa, in European and Southeast Asian countries as well. I heard that we are doing pretty well in Latin America as well. I'm not sure about it. But then the languages used there are Portuguese. In Africa, there is Afrikaans, Urdu, but people like to watch our shows because it's more family, it's very nice, something like that. So are you localizing the content to that? If somebody downloads an app of ZEE5 over there, would that be helpful for him? Can they watch in their own language? Because Hindi or English cannot get up.
I'm not sure if anybody is doing that because that takes a lot of time and effort. I think with the use of subtitles, I think we're crossing every OTT platform is crossing boundaries. So I think the best somebody can do is have like local language subtitles. But the thrill, or rather the excitement, is actually watching a show in its native language and not in a dubbed language, right? So
exactly.
With subtitles, I think that makes the impact. So I don't think localization of languages is I don't think any OTT player is doing that. So unless you create content specifically for that region, for example, Netflix came to India and started doing Indian content, right? Prime came to India and started doing Hindi content. So that's probably the only way to do it. Yeah.
Okay. And what tools would you recommend for companies to use social media if they really want to increase your presence, especially to let's say us? We are on YouTube now. If you want to increase our subscriber base, followers on other channels, so what things should we do?
See, I think there is the different kinds of especially when it comes to tools. You can use tools at different levels, right? So one is for social media management, right? Whether you want to a tool that will help you post on time, it will tell you what is the best time to post something. A tool that will help you respond to user comments and things like that. So that's your social media management tool. There are a lot of things. I would probably recommend something like a Hootsuite for it, which helps you really streamline everything that you have. Buffer is also another tool that we use, and it's interesting. Then comes the monitoring part, the social media monitoring, the reports, the analytics. There are hundreds of tools for that. I'd probably recommend one called Sprout Social that does extensive research and analysis and things like that. So if you ask me a tool that will increase your subscriber base on YouTube, I would say go advertise. Yeah.
Advertise. That's great. Even I'm trying that actually. That's the last resort. Yeah. So a couple of questions before we end this interview. Are you hiring? If you are hiring, what titles or what kind of people are you hiring for?
I can't answer that question.
You're not hiring in your team at present?
I can't answer that question right now. It's against our company policy to talk about hiring policies and stuff like that on public. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And second is like, are you okay for mentoring people? Because we're going to leave your LinkedIn profile after this interview on our YouTube channel, so people may contact you. But are you open to mentoring them?
Yeah, of course, all the time. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Nikhil, for joining us at Net Talk.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure speaking to you. A lot of knowledge that we have shared. And a lot of people are going to get a lot of insights from there. You have been of great help. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of questions when this interview gets published. We can see a lot of inquiries coming to your social media.
Sure. Thanks, Sachin. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Same here, sir. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yeah, all the best. Bye.
So here I was with Mr. Nikhil Kumar from Zee Media. He's the head of social media at ZEE5, India's OTT platform, made by Indians, built by Indians, produced by Indians, worked by Indians. So that's a good app. Hopefully you can launch it. I'm not getting paid to do these promotions. I'm just helping out my fellow countrymen and companies of India to do this. Nikhil Kumar is a very successful social media guy. He's been into social media from 14 years when the term was not even invented as a social media manager, head of social media in India. I could not remember going back to 2006 or 7 or 5 or 7, 8 also that there was a title like this. Maybe it was, but it was not so popular like it is today. He has an extensive knowledge. You can connect with him through his LinkedIn profile, which we're going to be mentioning once this interview is published on our YouTube description. You can go to that link; it is there, and you can probably connect with him in terms of asking any questions you may have. We are trying to bring more interviews like this with more experienced people who can teach us, who can educate us how to go about your career. Please don't hop, skip, and jump in the jobs. Stay there for a while, 2 to 3 years. If you stay for 5 years, you won't even get a graduate. So that's good. And learn from there, train yourself more and more better. That is going to help you in future. And for now, thank you for joining us at NetTalk. I'll be back with a few more content. Team NetTalk is growing. We are hiring for content writers. We are hiring for social media people. We are hiring for SEO guys. Please, if you know anyone, do contact us through our website, which is www.thenettalk.com. And we look forward to connecting. Thank you.